Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening to Wake Up, Look Up, a podcast where we connect events happening in real time to the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Zach Wyrock. And in today's episode, we're asking the question, why are people dying at work? This is based on an article that caught my attention on CNN's website that was talking about workplace murders, which I didn't realize are as frequent as they really are. In the past year, 458 people were murdered at work. And I realized, hey, it's a big country. 458 people is, in the comparison to a lot of things, a pretty small number, but that's 9 people a week. 9 people a week are murdered at their workplace. In fact, between 2018 and 2023, 2,762 people were murdered at their workplace. Mass shootings since 1966. They did a study of where mass shootings take place. 30% of them are what we would call workplace shooters, people who are going to where they worked or where they recently worked to kill the people with whom they worked. That's a terrifying stat. All these statistics are terrifying, but what caught my attention even more was a line in the article from a psychologist who said that when they study these workplace murders, what they find is that almost all of them are attributable to a personal grievance that went unchecked. A personal grievance that went unchecked that resulted in murder. It makes me think of Ephesians, the book of Ephesians, when Paul tells us to not let the sun go down on our anger. I think most of us like to think that we have our anger in check, at least enough to not murder someone. Maybe we mutter under our breath in traffic, or we make certain hand motions to let people know when we disapprove, but we would never kill anyone. But the thing is, I think the 458 people who did kill someone last year probably would have said the same thing about themselves a couple of years ago. I think we underestimate the destructive force of anger, of how far it can take us, of how much it can rationalize if we let it. I also think that physically killing someone isn't the only way to do violence when you're angry. I wonder how many emotional deaths have taken place, how many relational deaths, how many people work day by day next to someone who they hate or who hate them simply because some kind of wrong was done and it never got talked about. Listen, conflict resolution can be scary. It can be intimidating and it can be uncomfortable. It's pretty rough, but not as rough as murder. Listen, how many of us need to have a difficult conversation with someone that we work with to say, hey, you bother me when you do this. You offended me when you said this. I'm upset with you over that. Or how many of us need to become the kind of person with whom someone is upset or offended and can come talk to them. This might just be a way for us as Christians to shine in the workplace as we become the easiest people to talk to when you're upset with them, or the people who always come to you when they're upset with you. I think this is what Jesus meant when he said, we're the salt of the earth, we're the light of the world. We do things in a different way. In a country where people are getting angry all the time for a variety of reasons and bringing that anger in with them to work, in a country that is routinely and regularly isolated from each other so that even when I'm mad at you, I don't talk to you about it. Christians can show a better way forward. Who do you need to apologize to? Who do you need to hear apologize to you? Listen, don't let the sun go down on your anger. Don't let your workplace become violent in any sense of the word simply because you're unwilling or unable to engage someone in a difficult conversation that can lead to reconciliation. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode of Wake Up, Look Up. While you're here, take a minute to like and subscribe. Really helps us get the word out. Don't hesitate to leave a review wherever you might find this podcast on an audio level and help spread the word. And hey, while you're here, check out all the other content we have at Christ Community Chapel on YouTube. Some of those videos are popping up on the screen now. Click on one.